Hello, I'm Steph from IDRIVEACLASSIC, and today we are working again on Kev's MGC. Now, if you've been following along with the project, you'll know that we've been on this for months. If you're new around here, we started off with essentially a bit of a bare shell and we've built it up to what you see is behind. Now, if you're only joining us in this video today to find out how to fit a front bumper because you're trying to fit one to your own, or you're working in a garage and you're trying to work out how to do it, we'll shoot that first. If you're with us for the journey of the project, stay with us after we've fitted this because we're going to give you a roundup on where we are. We are about 1,000 hours away from being finished, which feels awful, doesn't it? But we're going to get it done. We're so nearly there, and Kev's told me it's his dream to take his wife and his dog next year to Scotland. So we've got to help him, and he's suffering a little bit with arthritis at the moment. So I just want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make that dream possible for him and to get him on the road in this, because if anybody deserves to be out in their MGC next year, it's Kev. Now with this, relatively easy to fit, give yourself 45 minutes. I'll show you all the fixtures and fittings as we go along. As usual, everything is from MGC spares, because if you're going to buy something, you might as well buy quality. Because remember, when you buy cheap and you come to fit it, it never fits properly. And then you just end up wasting time, waiting for the next stuff to roll in, or trying to modify stuff to fit and wasting even more time. Commercially, that doesn't make sense. And if you're doing it at home and you've got loads of jobs ahead of you, it also doesn't make sense. So let's all keep pushing to buy quality bits, because if we all did that, we'd soon eradicate all the cheap stuff because nobody would buy it. Right, let's crack on and get going with this bumper. Okay, so I've slightly cheated here because we've already done a test fit of this, but I think you already knew that because we'd mentioned it. Now, Kev keeps saying to me, watch the wing, watch the wing. Do not worry, I'm going to be very careful around fresh paint. Now what we're doing is you'll be able to see there are holes in the front bumper. So I'm going to get Kev to scoot down and show you. And you can see how it fits in. Now I should probably say, because you're probably wondering why I'm wearing gloves and why there are greasy little fingerprints all over this bumper, it's because we've actually put grease inside the bumper. Now the reason that you should do this, or you should at least consider doing it, is because, is that going to fit? Oh. The reason you should consider doing this is because it helps it stop it rotting out. Now this is quite a tight fit. Got to be careful of that paintwork. Okay, so when you get this in, it's a blooming tight fit. Jesus. Oh God. Oh. Give that little shove with your knee. Okay, so now as you feed this on, you'll see that we've wrapped the ends of the bumpers. Now, the reason that we did this was so that they didn't get damaged when they've been in storage, because if you remember, we did that re-chroming ages ago. And we didn't want it to get damaged. So hold on, let me just unwrap the bumper ends and then I'll be right back with you. Probably wasn't the angle you were expecting on the video. However, we are working together on the next bit and you might need an extra pair of hands, because you see this? This has to feed into, I can show you. Can you see that hole at the top just there? Do you want a point? Yeah, it's just around there. And so you need to feed that in, and then you're going to feed the bolt loosely in. So come on, we'll show you how two people do it together. Well, I guess 1.5 because I'll be holding the camera. How's it going, Kev?
I think so. I think we sort of, there we are. That's one.
Nice. Now, Kev told me you have to do this in sequence, so we're now...
We'll do the other side.
The other side.
Yeah.
Can you all see that?
Oops, sorry.
Oh, no. You can probably see here, Kev's just kicked me.
I don't want to do it by choice. I can't, I just can't bend my knee.
Right, come on.
Right. Oh, spring washer that's dropped down.
I can pass it back, don't worry.
Fuel.
So once we put these in, Kev, where are we going next?
Well, we'll start doing the side bits.
Okay, what's involved in that?
It's all loose, so it should be quite well.
And so you told me earlier, but why do you leave it loose for anybody who
It's just for the final fitting of where it's supposed to be. And just get a screwdriver there. Ah, that's it. It's quite difficult, so normally I'd be underneath doing this so I can see what I'm doing.
But if I can be of help in some way,
Yeah,
at least you're not trying to push on your own. Right, we'll let Kev struggle on with this and we'll grab you for the corners. So the man that tells me that he can't get down on the floor has said, I just need to find out where these are going. Kev, what are you doing here?
Well, there's some towing brackets on here,
Right.
This bumper wasn't attached to the car when it first came, so those towing brackets go in there. Now,
They look a right old faff.
they are a right old faff, and we're going to have to take the bumper off again.
Oh,
Because the valance won't cut, because this bumper was not attached to the car.
right.
And, you know, I don't think we need those. You know what? It's not going to break down this car, so we won't bother putting them, we won't bother putting those on. So there's just one more bolt to put in here,
Yeah.
and on the other side, and the side bits, and then bolt it up, and then the job's done.
Thank God.
Yeah, but I've got complete faith in this car, so it won't break down. So we'll there's some towing ice for sale if anybody's interested. They've been powder coated by the lovely powder coated maidens that we discussed before. Right, come on then. You can put these bolts in. I can't bend any more down here.
Okay, so I'm not very good with centimetres. So there's what, 2.5 centimetres per inch. Probably about 7-8 centimetres in front, so a few inches in front of that bolt that we've just put in. You've got another one here. So you've got your load bearing, whatever it's called, washer. I always just know it's the little one. And then you've got your big one. And then you're just going to feed it through. So again, it's just like the last one. It's just a little bit tricky. And you've just got to, but because you've put that back one in, there we go. But again, you just want to be doing everything loosely, because what happens is when we get to these corners, you have to just keep adjusting it till it's exactly where you want it to be. But as Kev says, it's never going to break down, so
Yeah, hopefully not.
it's never going to break down.
I can find something else to fasten it to, I think.
To be fair though, the Morris Minor doesn't break down, touch wood. I had that problem with, what was it, the fuel pump before. That's like the one problem I've had. And that was only because I haven't used it in a while. Right, okay, cool. We've got it in. Let me just show you. Hold on. Could I just pitch the camera and I'll show everybody at home? Can you see? Right, there we go. So this is the one we put in. That's the one that we are now putting in. So you want to do that on both sides.
Other side, yeah.
Right, let's go. Right, the man who doesn't like to relinquish control on his car has taken over once again. Kev, what are you doing?
I'm just putting these side bits in here, or attempting to. Yeah, it's going in nice to that. So there's a Steph pointed out there's a rubber bung here.
Yeah.
That goes there, and these are to sort of space. Can you see it's still flexible there?
Yeah.
Because we can do a final adjustment there. But as you can see, the bumper looks really good. The space is good. You know, the spacing everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's a nice, good, straight bumper. And the chrome on it was really good to start with, which is nice.
So for those of the people at home, Kev, that are doing this for themselves for the first time, how do you know you've got the alignment of the bumper right?
Well, it's just trial and error, to be honest.
Yeah, but how do you know what right looks like?
Well,
Is it the spacing all along? Is it so many inches from the ground? What is it?
well, I mean, let me just crawl out of here. Oh, blimey. Oh. I think if you look at this piece here,
Yeah.
and sort of just look where the overrider is there to there,
Yeah.
and then come round the other side.
Yeah.
It's more or less the same.
Yeah.
This wants to come down at this side because it's too far up, but that's not a problem because we can adjust it with these side brackets here.
Okay.
So that's it basically. You're just going to make sure, and if you look down, the gap there is lovely in the middle there. You know, it's
Yeah.
all a nice even gap, probably half an inch, something like that. That looks all right. I mean, we did trial fit it to start with.
Yeah. Well, we had to because you didn't know the car.
I didn't know the car. The car could have been like a blooming banana for all I know. As opposed to a lemon like my knees.
Right. So that's it. 6 bolts, adjust it up and jobs are good, yeah?
Job's a carrot, as
Brilliant.
we say.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Kev to give you a bit of an update on where we are with the adventure so far in the MGC and also a few other bits because I know that you've really enjoyed Rustival.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say Rustival was absolutely fantastic. It was a great day. I went down with my mate. It was a very, very early start. I just got back from Italy 3 days before, so I could have done without a 5:30 set off. But anyway, it was absolutely great. Both Steve and myself really enjoyed it, and I just want to say thank you very much to the chap that left me some Black Sheep beer. I didn't recall his name. I'm going a bit deaf as well as daft, but I think it said Chris. I think that rings a bell. But whoever it was greatly appreciated. I had a lovely curry with it, and I also used one of the Black Sheep ales to make a steak and ale pie with. So
that's fancy.
I'm not a bad cook, you know. Bit of suet pastry, but it was wonderful. Thanks very much. It was great. So the car it progresses. It's very slow because I'm certainly not as quick as I used to be, unfortunately, due to age, looking after parents and, you know, trying to run the house and all the rest of it. So it's getting there.
What have you been doing though, Kev?
Well,
since I last saw you?
Well, I put the carbs on and the manifolds on. That's that done. I've fitted the tailgate since we last saw you.
Can I ask you, Kev, as
Yeah.
we go along, tell us how long these things are taking. So going back to the carbs, how long did that take you to put on in the manifold?
Well, that took me probably about 4 hours. That
Okay.
was it was the manifold. It's got a you can see there that came with the car.
Oh, you've got Maniflow.
A
Oh, that's a bit
Maniflow
fancy,
exhaust
isn't it?
system that came with the car. Unfortunately, no fitting kit with it, so I've just ordered it. I've just spoken to them. Sound very professional. So I've got the fitting kit coming. So today I've ordered some more bits, and I spoke to Chris at the MGC Spares, and we had a right good conversation. I was speaking to him for an hour. I've ordered another load of parts for the car, and I love Chris. He's got such a wonderful sense of humour. He always says, "I know you're a Yorkshireman, but." And then I think, oh God, how much dearer is this than the one I was going to do? But I've gone with him, and I've taken advice. Unbelievably knowledgeable chap. I asked him about batteries on this, because the system on this is 2 6-volt batteries, and I wanted a bit of advice, because some people say get, you know, 2 12-volt batteries and wire them up in parallel as opposed to series, or the other way around. I can't remember which. I've forgotten, to be honest. And he says, no, don't do that. The MGC have got this upgraded battery with plastic cases that fit, and it'll fit straight away. He says it's a bit dearer, you won't like it, but have it. So I thought, I must have a reputation going with me on this. But I've just said, right, Chris, I'll have those. But lovely guy. If you want any parts, he's really knowledgeable. The parts quality is really good. The delivery service is absolutely second to none. I ordered them this morning, I don't know, about 10:30, and I've just got a message on my telephone saying that they'll be here tomorrow about 10 o'clock.
So you can't complain at that, can you?
Oh, the service is just fantastic.
So show us what you've done with your back bumper as well.
Back bumper?
Have you done back bumper? What have you been doing?
I
Apart
fitted
from
the back
carbs
bumper
and...
on it.
Yeah, come show us then.
All right, okay. Right, come on. It's this way. So, yeah, I've got the back bumper on. The back bumper doesn't fit as well as the front bumper, but it's sort of more or less even there. But it's more of a complex shape is this back bumper, and I've put the tow bar on it as well, because I want the tow bar on, because I may tow a period caravan with it. I don't really know. I've no idea. So that's that done. Put the tailgate on, badges on there, and as we said on the previous video, Cone Classics lent me a template for this to put this badge on correctly. So that's all done. That's done. Steph and me did the petrol tank last time. That's all done and finished now. Oh, you can't see because I put the wheel on. So I'm just on with putting the fuel pump on, which I've gone for the original fuel pump, obviously from the MGC Spares, and I've gone for the solid state SU fuel pump, which is the original specification, but it doesn't have points in. So hopefully that'll be in fitted fit and forget. I'm thinking of. I've got a tracker end to do on the other side, and that should conclude that the brakes have been checked. They're all right. Watch the bench behind you. Wheels are done. So yeah, there's a windscreen coming tomorrow, which is fingers crossed it doesn't get broken, because they can't guarantee you know, it coming in one piece. If it breaks, it's my own pigeon sort of thing. But yeah, he explained that to me. I've got all the trim kit inside to do the seats. The seat frames have all been recovered and powder coated. There's various boxes, but it's getting less and less parts hanging around. So eventually, what I intend to do, when this car is completely finished, I'm going to empty this garage out, and a lot of the spares I'm just going to get rid of, because I can't cope with all the spares. I've just got too much stuff.
Right, well that's a wrap from us. It's been a bit fun today showing you how to fit a bumper. As you can see, it's easy peasy. Anyone could do it, but a second pair of hands does make the whole process a lot easier. Now, doing stuff like this will save you some money in a garage. So if you're working on your car at home, you can do some of this stuff. You don't have to be a genius. A lot of people try and convince you. It seems to be on things like restoration programs that you have to be some sort of genius with a million tools to be able to do this. I only had a few bits and pieces today. I am not a professional mechanic by any means, although I do work in a restoration business, but I do everything where you're not touching tools, because I don't think they'd let me. Anyway, that is a joke, because I do get to work on my own bits and pieces. Now we're going to leave Kev today. There's a lot going on, as you know, on the channel. I've just taken on my very own standard 10, and you're probably wondering why I didn't bring it here. Well, I hope that some of the stuff that we shared with you in the video today, all the stuff on Kev's plate, his poor knee that's really holding him back, Kev does not have the time or capacity to be working on something else that I've brought to the table. And with so many willing hands at work, it seemed so silly not to take advantage of that, because that is the very definition of a work perk. So there's going to be a lot coming up and a lot changing. Kev's working on this fantastic MGC with me. I'm doing the standard 10 at work with my friends at ADO Restoration, and it's all good, because the thing is in life you should always keep going with your passions, even if you have to put them on ice for a little bit, or you're going slower than you want to. Never give up. Just keep going, keep having fun, because we're not on earth for very long, as I always tell people. So you've got to make the most of it, and you've got to have fun, because if you just constantly sit there and do nothing and think you're going to do it later, or you just put off everything, you're just going to end up at the end of the road with a load of regrets. And I would rather, as I said to my friend the other day, regret all the stuff that I have done than the stuff I didn't do. But you can all remind me of that when I'm staring up into to Speedy's underside and thinking, why have I taken a standard 10 on? But anyway, that's by the by. Really hope you've enjoyed the video. It's been great fun bringing you down into the workshop again today. But until next time, take care and drive safely.